Have you ever wondered why Nutella tastes so unbelievably good? There's a secret behind that rich, creamy flavor, a secret that millions of people don't know. But once you find out, you'll never look at a jar of Nutella the same way again. Before we move on, I'm on a journey to reach 1,000 subscribers. I would really appreciate it if you wanted to become one of the Factory Journey OGs by subscribing. So, Nutella isn't just a chocolate spread, it's a global obsession loved in over 160 countries. But how is it possible to produce millions of jars every day and still keep that perfect taste? Well, the answer lies in a closely guarded process that starts with the finest ingredients. But here's the thing, even the best ingredients would be useless without a special technique that gives Nutella its unique texture. We're going to take you inside the factory where the magic happens. You'll see how hazelnuts and cocoa beans are transformed into that smooth, irresistible spread. But that's just the beginning. Because even if you knew how it's made, you'd still be missing the one crucial step that keeps Nutella fresh and delicious until it reaches your kitchen. Without this step, everything else would be pointless. Curious? Keep watching, because once we reveal this final secret, you'll understand why Nutella is like nothing else on the planet. Nutella's story begins in Italy during a time of hardship, World War II. Back then, cocoa was scarce and chocolatiers were struggling to keep their businesses alive. That's when Pietro Ferrero, a pastry maker in Piedmont, had a brilliant idea. He combined roasted hazelnuts, sugar, and just a hint of rare cocoa to create a sweet paste called pasta gianduja. It was affordable and delicious, quickly becoming a local favorite. But this was just the start. Pietro's son, Michele Ferrero, saw even greater potential. In 1964, he improved the recipe and gave it a new name, Nutella. It was creamier, easier to spread, and it had a rich, chocolatey taste that was irresistible. Soon, jars of Nutella were flying off the shelves, not just in Italy, but across Europe. But over the decades, Nutella grew from a clever wartime invention into a global sensation. Today, it's sold in over 160 countries with dedicated fans who celebrate World Nutella Day every February 5th. But here's the surprising part. Despite its worldwide popularity, Nutella's recipe has remained almost unchanged for over 50 years. Yet without the highest quality ingredients, even the best recipe would fall flat. That's why Ferrero goes to extraordinary lengths to source the finest hazelnuts and cocoa. But how do they ensure every batch meets their strict standards? The answer lies in a complex supply chain and rigorous quality checks. Sounds difficult, right? I'll explain. To make Nutella taste as good as it does, Ferrero needs the best ingredients, and they don't leave anything to chance. It all starts with hazelnuts, the heart and soul of Nutella's flavor. Ferrero is one of the world's largest buyers of hazelnuts, sourcing them mainly from Turkey, Italy, and Chile. These regions are known for producing premium quality nuts with just the right balance of flavor and texture. But here's the twist. Even a slight change in the hazelnut's quality could ruin the entire batch. That's why Ferrero uses strict quality checks, rejecting any nuts that don't meet their high standards. Without this step, the rest of the process would be pointless. But even the finest hazelnuts wouldn't be enough without rich, flavorful cocoa. Ferrero sources cocoa beans from West Africa, especially Ivory Coast and Ghana. These countries produce beans with the deep, complex flavors needed for Nutella's signature taste. The beans are harvested by hand, then dried under the sun before being shipped to processing facilities. But there's a catch. If the beans aren't roasted just right, the flavor could be off, ruining the entire blend. That's why the roasting process is a closely guarded secret. Even the best beans would be useless without this crucial step. Of course, Nutella wouldn't be the same without its other key ingredients: sugar, palm oil, skimmed milk powder, and vanillin. Ferrero uses refined sugar for a smooth, sweet consistency, while carefully sourced palm oil ensures that creamy, melt in your mouth texture. They also use high quality skimmed milk powder for a hint of richness and vanillin for a subtle, fragrant finish. But here's the kicker. Mixing these ingredients perfectly is no easy task. One mistake could throw off the entire balance of flavor and texture. It's clear that sourcing the best ingredients is vital, but even the finest raw materials won't guarantee that unmistakable Nutella taste. The real magic happens during processing, where precise techniques turn these ingredients into the creamy spread we all love. And it's more complicated than you might think. Once the finest ingredients are sourced, the real magic begins, transforming raw hazelnuts and cocoa beans into the creamy, rich Nutella we all know and love. It all starts with the hazelnuts. First, they're cleaned to remove any dust or debris. Then they're roasted to bring out their deep, nutty flavor. This step is crucial because even a small change in roasting time or temperature can completely alter the taste. In fact, Ferrero's roasting method is so precise that it's considered a trade secret. Without this careful roasting, the hazelnuts wouldn't have the rich aromatic flavor that gives Nutella its signature taste. Next comes the cocoa. The beans arrive at the processing facility already dried, but they still need to be roasted and pressed. Roasting the cocoa beans unlocks their rich, complex flavor, while pressing them separates the cocoa butter from the cocoa powder. Only the powder is used in Nutella, giving it that smooth, chocolatey taste. But here's something surprising. The balance between hazelnut paste and cocoa powder is key. After the hazelnuts are ground into a smooth paste and the cocoa powder is ready, it's time to combine all the ingredients. This is where Nutella gets its unique texture. The hazelnut paste is mixed with cocoa powder, sugar, skimmed milk powder, and palm oil. The mixture is then kneaded and refined to eliminate any graininess. This refining process is so precise that the final product is smoothed down to the micron that's 1/1000th of a millimeter. It's this level of detail that gives Nutella its creamy, melt-in-your-mouth consistency. But achieving the perfect texture is just one part of the puzzle. Without the right blending technique, the flavors wouldn't come together the way they do. Each ingredient is added in a specific order and mixed at just the right speed and temperature. Miss a step and the entire batch would be ruined. It's a delicate dance of science and art, one that makes all the sourcing and processing worthless if done wrong. The result? The smooth, irresistible Nutella spread we all love. But how does Ferrero keep up with the worldwide demand, producing millions of jars every day? The answer lies in their state-of-the-art production facilities. To meet the worldwide demand for Nutella, Ferrero operates some of the most advanced production facilities on the planet. These factories are strategically located in countries like Italy, Germany, Canada, and Brazil, producing millions of jars every single day. But it's not just about quantity, and maintaining consistent quality is key. Each factory is designed with cutting-edge automation systems that keep the process running smoothly while ensuring every jar tastes exactly the same. Inside these massive factories, efficiency is everything. The production line is a carefully orchestrated system that starts with raw ingredients and ends with perfectly sealed jars ready for shipping. Hazelnut paste and cocoa mixture flow through pipes at just the right temperature, ensuring the creamy consistency Nutella is known for. Advanced sensors monitor every step, from mixing and refining to filling and sealing. If even the slightest inconsistency is detected, the system automatically adjusts. This level of precision isn't just impressive, it's necessary to keep the iconic taste consistent worldwide. But here's the incredible part. Even with all this technology, every jar is made to feel personal and familiar, just like the first one ever produced. This balance of high-tech production and familiar taste keeps fans coming back for more. Yet without the rigorous quality checks and safety measures in place, even the most advanced factory would be useless. Each jar has to be perfect before it leaves the facility. No exceptions. So how does Ferrero ensure that every jar is flawless? It's all about strict quality control and safety protocols, which go far beyond industry standards. And without these checks, all the work done in sourcing, processing, and production would be meaningless. Every jar of Nutella has to be perfect. There's no room for error, not in taste, texture, or safety. That's why Ferrero has some of the strictest quality control measures in the industry. From the moment the raw ingredients arrive at the factory, they undergo rigorous testing. Hazelnuts are checked for size, flavor, and freshness, while cocoa powder is inspected for its rich, chocolatey aroma. Even the sugar and palm oil have to meet exacting standards. If one ingredient is even slightly off, the entire batch could be ruined. Once the ingredients pass inspection, they move through the production line, but the quality checks don't stop there. Sensors and cameras continuously monitor every step, from mixing to refining. These high-tech systems can detect even the smallest inconsistencies. If anything goes wrong, production is halted immediately. But here's the thing, technology alone isn't enough. Every factory also has dedicated quality control teams who manually test samples throughout the day. They check for flavor, texture, and even the spreadability of the final product. If it doesn't feel just right, it doesn't get packaged, and it's not just about taste. Safety is a top priority. Ferrero follows strict hygiene and food safety standards, far exceeding industry requirements. Every jar is sealed airtight to keep the product fresh and safe from contamination. But here's what most people don't realize. Without these safety measures, everything else would be pointless. No matter how perfectly it's made, it wouldn't reach your kitchen shelf without passing these final tests. But here's the catch. Even with all this care, Nutella still has one more challenge to overcome before it can reach your home. Packaging and distribution. If this part isn't flawless, everything else is wasted. The taste, the texture, even the safety, all of it would mean nothing. It's the final step that brings everything together. Miss this, and the whole process falls apart. Ready to see how they pull it off? Once each jar of Nutella passes the strict quality checks, it's ready for the next critical step: packaging. But this isn't just about slapping a label on a jar. Every detail matters, from the shape of the jar to the freshness seal. Nutella's iconic glass and plastic jars are designed not only for convenience, but also to preserve that creamy, delicious spread inside. Even the label placement is calculated to make the jar instantly recognizable on store shelves. But here's the tricky part. If the packaging isn't airtight, all the hard work that went into making the perfect spread would be wasted. The filling process is a race against time. Nutella is pumped into jars at just the right temperature to keep it smooth and creamy. Too hot and the texture changes, too cold and it won't fill evenly. Automated machines work at lightning speed, filling and sealing thousands of jars every minute. But speed isn't everything, precision is. That's why sensors check each jar to ensure the exact amount is filled every time. Even a slight variation could affect the product's quality and shelf life. After sealing, each jar is labeled and coded for traceability, then packed into boxes ready for distribution. But the journey doesn't end there. Nutella is shipped to over 160 countries, reaching millions of homes worldwide. To keep up with demand, Ferrero uses a complex logistics network, ensuring every jar arrives fresh and undamaged. But here's the catch. If the distribution isn't perfectly timed, Nutella could sit on store shelves for too long, losing its freshness and flavor. All the sourcing, processing, and quality checks would mean nothing. That's why packaging and distribution aren't just the final steps. They're the glue that holds the whole process together. But there's one more piece to this puzzle: sustainability. How does Ferrero produce millions of jars while minimizing environmental impact? If they fail here, everything else would be meaningless. The answer is more surprising than you might think. Let's find out how they do it. Producing millions of jars of Nutella every day requires massive amounts of resources: hazelnuts, cocoa, palm oil, and even the packaging materials. But with great production comes great responsibility. Ferrero knows this and has made sustainability a core part of its strategy. They've committed to sourcing 100% certified sustainable palm oil, ensuring it's not linked to deforestation or exploitation. In fact, Ferrero was one of the first companies to join the Roundtable on Sustainable Palm Oil, setting an example for the entire industry. But sourcing responsibly is only half the battle. If they don't get this right, everything else could be overshadowed by environmental concerns. Hazelnuts are another focus. Ferrero partners with farmers in Turkey, Italy, and Chile, investing in sustainable agriculture techniques that protect the soil and reduce water usage. They even provide training programs to help farmers increase yield without harming the environment. It's a delicate balance, one that's crucial to keeping up with global demand. Without sustainable farming practices, the future of Nutella would be at risk. But it's not just about the ingredients. The packaging is also designed with the environment in mind. Ferrero is working towards fully recyclable packaging by 2025, aiming to reduce plastic waste. They're experimenting with eco-friendly materials and optimizing logistics to cut down on carbon emissions. But here's the challenge: making these changes without compromising product quality or shelf life. One wrong move and the entire supply chain could be affected. It's clear that sustainability is woven into every part of Nutella's production process, but even with these initiatives, there's one more crucial element: the fans who can't get enough of Nutella. Without them, none of this would matter, and the numbers behind this global obsession are truly mind-blowing. Nutella isn't just a chocolate spread, it's a worldwide phenomenon with some truly mind-blowing numbers behind it. Every year, Ferrero uses around 25% of the world's hazelnut supply to keep up with demand. That's billions of hazelnuts being roasted and blended into creamy, delicious Nutella. In fact, if you lined up all the jars of Nutella sold in a year, they would circle the earth more than once. But here's something even more surprising. Every 2.5 seconds, a jar of Nutella is sold somewhere in the world. But it's not just the numbers that are impressive. Nutella has a loyal fan base with creative ways of enjoying it. In France, it's a breakfast staple spread on warm baguettes, while in Italy, it's commonly used to fill pastries and crepes. And in Australia, Nutella-filled donuts are a popular treat. People love Nutella so much that World Nutella Day was created by fans and is celebrated every February 5th. But where did this obsession start? It goes beyond just a sweet tooth. Nutella has become a cultural icon. The story of Nutella's popularity is as rich as its flavor, but it wouldn't exist without one final element: tradition. Ferrero has stayed true to its roots, maintaining the same recipe and values that started it all. But how do they keep that balance between tradition and modern innovation? That's the secret to Nutella's success and the perfect way to wrap up our journey. From its humble beginnings in post-war Italy to becoming a global sensation, Nutella's journey is nothing short of extraordinary. It all starts with the finest ingredients, sourced with precision and care. From hazelnuts grown in Turkey and Italy to cocoa beans harvested in West Africa, every element is chosen to create that rich, creamy flavor fans can't get enough of. But sourcing isn't enough. It takes meticulous processing, advanced production facilities, and strict quality control to transform these raw materials into the world's favorite chocolate spread. Yet, even with all this effort, Nutella's success isn't just about taste. It's about tradition, consistency, and a deep connection with its fans. By staying true to its original recipe and values, Ferrero has created more than just a product. They've created a cultural icon, but they've also embraced innovation, using state-of-the-art technology to produce millions of jars while maintaining the same familiar taste. It's this blend of tradition and modernity that keeps Nutella on top. But as the world changes, so do the challenges of sustainability, production, and distribution. The question now is, how will Nutella continue to evolve while staying true to its roots? One thing's for sure: as long as people crave that irresistible taste, Nutella's story is far from over. What's your favorite way to enjoy Nutella? On toast, on pancakes, or something else? Let me know in the comments down below.